A dramatic title like this implies specific events that may not be supported by verified facts. To keep the script engaging without presenting speculation as fact, the narration can focus on the broader sacrifices and responsibilities associated with Princess Leonor's role. For most young people, the future is filled with endless possibilities. There are dreams to chase, careers to explore, and countless opportunities to choose a life that feels truly their own. But for Princess Leonor, Spain's future queen, life has always been different. Long before she could fully understand the meaning of duty, a path had already been laid before her. And with each passing year, that path has demanded more from her than many people could ever imagine. Recently, as Princess Leonor continues to embrace the responsibilities that come with being heir to the Spanish throne, many observers have been reflecting on the quiet sacrifices she has made along the way. Not dramatic sacrifices that make headlines overnight. Not shocking revelations. But the kind of sacrifices that happen gradually, almost invisibly. The sacrifices of youth. The sacrifices of privacy. The sacrifices of personal freedom. And perhaps that is what makes her story so emotional. Because behind the royal titles and carefully choreographed public appearances stands a young woman carrying expectations that would overwhelm most people. From the day she was born, Leonor's destiny seemed already written. As the eldest daughter of King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia, she became first in line to the throne. It was a position that brought immense honor. But it also brought enormous responsibility. Unlike many young women her age, Leonor has never had the luxury of living entirely for herself. Every stage of her life has been shaped by preparation for a role she did not choose. And yet, she has continued to accept that responsibility with remarkable maturity. One of the greatest sacrifices she appears to have made is the sacrifice of anonymity. For most people, growing up involves making mistakes, learning lessons, and discovering who they are away from public judgment. For Leonor, that luxury hardly exists. Every public appearance is analyzed. Every speech is scrutinized. Every photograph becomes the subject of discussion. Even simple moments that would normally pass unnoticed become international news. That kind of attention can be exhausting. And it is a burden few people truly understand. There is also the sacrifice of personal freedom. Many young adults spend their early years exploring different dreams and ambitions. They travel, they experiment, they change their minds, they search for who they want to become. But Princess Leonor has spent much of her life preparing for a future already determined by history and tradition. Her education, her training, her public duties, everything has been carefully designed with one goal in mind. Preparing her to one day become queen. And perhaps that realization carries an emotional weight that few can fully comprehend. Because no matter how strong or disciplined someone may be, they are still human. They still have hopes, questions, fears, and moments of uncertainty. One of the most demanding chapters of Leonor's journey has been her military training. The future queen has embraced this responsibility as part of her preparation for leadership. For many people, seeing the young princess exchange royal comfort for discipline and demanding routines highlighted the seriousness with which she approaches her role. It was not about glamour. It was not about prestige. It was about commitment, and commitment often requires sacrifice. Throughout this journey, King Felipe VI has remained a guiding presence. Having once stood in a similar position himself, he understands the pressures his daughter faces. No one knows better than the king how heavy the expectations of the crown can become. Meanwhile, Queen Letizia has often been seen offering support and encouragement, helping her daughters navigate a world unlike any other. Together, they have tried to provide Leonor with something precious. A sense of family, because behind the institution of monarchy lies something deeply human. Parents watching their daughter grow. A father hoping to pass on wisdom. A mother wishing to protect her child. And a young woman trying to balance duty with her own personal identity. Perhaps that balance is one of the greatest challenges she faces. Because the crown demands service. But the heart longs for ordinary experiences. Friendships, privacy, spontaneity, simple moments away from cameras. Yet those moments are increasingly rare. And still, Leonor has carried herself with remarkable grace. There have been touching moments that have revealed glimpses of her humanity. Warm smiles exchanged with her younger sister, Infanta Sofia. Proud looks from her parents during important ceremonies. Subtle expressions that remind the world she is more than a royal figure. She is a daughter, a sister, a young woman growing into adulthood. And perhaps that is why so many people feel empathy for her. Not because she wears a title, but because everyone understands what it means to face expectations. Everyone understands what it means to make sacrifices. And everyone knows that sometimes the hardest choices are the ones made quietly. Without applause, without recognition, without complaint. That kind of strength often goes unnoticed. But it deserves to be remembered. Because leadership is rarely built on privilege alone. It is built on responsibility, discipline, humility, and the willingness to put something greater than oneself first. Those qualities cannot be inherited. They must be developed through experience. And experience often comes with sacrifice. As Princess Leonor moves closer to the day she will eventually become queen, the demands upon her will only increase. The world will continue watching. The expectations will continue growing. And the pressure will remain immense. But perhaps what inspires so many people is the way she continues to face those challenges. Not with arrogance, not with entitlement, but with quiet determination, because true strength is not always loud. Sometimes, true strength is found in the sacrifices nobody sees. The dreams postponed, the freedoms surrendered, the private moments given up in service to a larger responsibility. And perhaps that is the heartbreaking reality behind Princess Leonor's journey. Not a single dramatic sacrifice, but a lifetime of small sacrifices made in the name of duty. A burden carried with dignity, a future embraced with courage, and a commitment to serving her country that continues to define her path. Only time will reveal what kind of queen Princess Leonor will become. But one thing is already clear. Behind the crown stands a young woman whose quiet sacrifices have touched hearts around the world. And perhaps that, more than anything else, is what makes her story so deeply